We are live, Bay State running on our tour around Massachusetts, celebrating the class of 2020. But ladies and gentlemen, this one is a very, very special one for Coach H. And before we go and introduce these young men, I want to share with you guys, ladies and gentlemen, for me, these young men and their teammates are very, very, very special and dear to me. A year ago, I was in transition. I started my career off at West Roxbury as a head coach for Boston Public Schools, but unfortunately the city had closed its door roughly a year ago, so I didn't have an opportunity. I didn't have a school to coach at for the outdoor season. Big, big special salute to Coach Lankow, Coach John Boyle. We were at an MSTCA meeting. We started conversating. It slipped that I was a free agent. They were like, "You're not coaching anywhere in the spring?" I was like, "Nah, I'm not coaching." And then, Zach and John behind doors started advocating for me, and they asked if I could come up to visit the school a year ago at the end of February and March. And when I got there, ladies and gentlemen, I was still very, very insecure because I'm like, what could I possibly bring to this established tradition, rich culture here at St. John's Prep? And the coaching staff, big shout out to them, both Boyles, Rob Ochander, Dean Smith, all the coaches. They were very, very instrumental in making things comfortable for me. But I think most important, it was this class. It was the senior class of 2020. I always tell you guys, I want to say thank you, because once I got to St. John's Prep, I started winning. In Boston Public Schools at West Roxbury, I never had a team over 12 kids. I would try to go into meets and do my best to compete, but we would always lose against the city teams that had, bigger population. But I never felt that they were better than us. And then once I got to St. John's Prep, I rolled my gloves up and I focused, and I really, really just started, thinking I could bring something to the table. And these three young men, we started a dialogue that I said, I think we can win the state title in cross country. And years later, less than a few months later, these three men went on to go win the 2019 All-State Championship in cross country. And I'm very proud to say that they brought me my first league championship, and I've been undefeated ever since. So I just want to say to you three, first and foremost, before we get into the interview, I'm very dear. You guys are very dear to me, and I'm so grateful that you guys believed in me and gave me a chance to be coach. So we have now in the group chat, we have Declan Sheehan, class of 2020, taking his talents to the University of Providence. We have Connor Hughes, class of 2020, taking his academic as well as athletic talents to the University of Stonehill. And now, and finally, have my main man, Steven Jackson, pulled the upset off, indoor track in the mile, taking his talents to BC in the fall, academic as well as athletic. Gentlemen, how's been the last 4 years, Row Eagles at St. John's?
It's been kind of crazy. I mean, freshman year we started off and none of us were really studs. I mean, Steven was obviously the best out of all of us. But Coach Boyle and Coach Lankow took the time with us each year and turned us into just athletes, I think. And we have them to thank for everything.
Yeah, I mean, adding on to that, it's been a great ride. And just I wasn't really that good freshman year, but I just kept working with it and just kept grinding every day. And then happily, through the coaching, just got to where I am today.
Yeah, I think the most important thing was just us working together every day and being together and just working as a group. So that was important.
So, Deck, you just ended on working as a group. And thank you, Connor and Steven. So let's get to the setting where 2019, we're at the All-State meet. The gun goes off, you know, and I'm running around like every other coach. And then I look up and I see Connor, like, hurt. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, wait a minute. Connor's hurt. Like, how are we going to get this done? Steven's running phenomenal. You know, shout out to Big George. Shout out to Noah Mooney. Shout out to our freshman, Nathan. So we're like, wait, we're counting places. And I'm like, where's Connor? Then I see Connor. Connor's like still in it, hurt, battling. Then I look up in the horizon, and there goes Deck. Our main man, Deck, is coming down the straightaway. Let's start with you, Connor. We'll work our way up to Deck and Steven. So, Connor, walk us through state title, and then something happened. Like, did you feel it? What happened? And what was your thoughts going on during the race?
Yeah, so about, I think it was a mile and a half in one of the big bowls that rides up into the tee box. I stepped in between the concrete and the grass, and I just felt something pop, and I was like, that's not good. But luckily, Deck ran right by me and just kept going. So did Pat, actually. Pat Osmond came by me, and they stuck with it. I wasn't ending my cross-country career on a dropout, so I just kept going.
Mm-hmm. Deck, so you heard Connor, right? And you know, Deck, me and you were having our conversations. I was always saying, Deck, come down to you. We need you locked in. Deck, we need you locked in. Then boom, you see Connor hurt. You and Pat run by him. Now, what's going on through your head a mile and a half into the All-State meet?
Yeah, I knew when I saw Connor kind of drop back, I was like, all right, he's done this like his whole life. Like, he's been one of our top guys. So I was like, all right, I got to step up to the plate. And like going up that hill, I was so nervous, but I just trusted my training and everything. So just started to make moves on people. So, yeah.
And then Steven, your duty was to be up top and shake it up, shake it all up. So, all right, so Steven, obviously you didn't see what happened behind you. So what was going on with you where you were trying to position the team? You're our number one guy. You were trying to position ourselves. So you get on the straightaway, and that straightaway, pretty long. Let's say, 500, 600. It was a long straightaway. What was your thoughts going through as we were trying to close in and win a state title?
So, I mean, I started out, I took a pretty big risk, and I went out pretty hard. And then I just stuck with it. I just stuck with the top group as best as I could. And then on the final straightaway, that's when I like really started to hurt. Like, I was like struggling to finish more than I usually am. And I actually got passed on the final straightaway, dropped back to fourth. But I mean, I was still really happy about my performance, just finished strong from there. And then I finished and just, again, happy about my performance, went up to Mooney. And that's when he told me that Connor had a problem and he didn't see him right after he finished. So I was worried. I didn't think we won. I thought we dropped back to about third or fourth. So I didn't know what was going to happen. But, I mean, I was just happy with my performance, and there was nothing I could do. So
in dramatic fashion. Oh, man, in dramatic fashion. And then I'm coming from the Bay State tent as well as the BPS tent. I'm walking towards you guys, and I'm like, man, I don't know if we got it done. Like, it was close. And then as I get closer and closer, I start to look in the eyes. Like, I get closer, and I see Coach Boyle's eyes, and I see Coach Winkow's eyes, and there's tears. I'm like, did we win? Sure enough, we won. Ecstatic, gentlemen, ecstatic. I remember that moment. That'll be a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I know you guys will too. I want to say for you guys, for that moment right there, although, you know, Coach Boyle, Coach Lankow, they were the ones that developed you, groomed you, but I felt that I was part of the process, part of the team. I felt like all my words that I shared with you guys the previous year didn't go in vain, and that, we won on that fashion. Very, very proud moment for me. So then we take our talents indoors. Deck plays ball. Shout out to the St. John's Prep basketball team, right? Deck working on that corner three. And then we go into the indoor season. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to continue the tradition that had been there. St. John's hadn't lost. So, guys, let me be clear here. In the Catholic Conference, did you guys win it 3 years in a row? Outdoors?
Outdoors, yeah. Indoors, we lost to BC High and Brockton. Was it last year? I think it was last year.
Sophomore year, we won it.
Yeah, sophomore and senior year, we won.
Yeah, but outdoors, we had won it 3 years in a row. And this was the season that I was seeking to go for number 4. But unfortunately, COVID has changed all our lives. And just to share with you guys, I just remember, I think it was Wednesday, Thursday night, right before Nationals. And I'm with Shep, and Shep and I are going to drive up there, cover the meet. He has Marshfield. We're going to do double duties. I got you guys. We're going to run a 4x mile. Nathan's going to run the freshman mile. And I'm like, roll Eagles. We're about to have a big one. And then I start looking at the news, and I'm like, wait, something's going on in New York. I don't know if we should be going to New York. And the next thing you know, we are where we at right now. Sorry about that. We are where we at right now. So, yes, gentlemen, I just want to say that, there's been in track and field, we have our highs and lows. Let's get to your highs and lows. But for me, you guys brought a lot of highs. Like, I won. Like, I never won, like, championships. I never touched those trophies. So, once again, I want to say thank you. I felt like, I'm very transparent. I was real insecure. I measured success as a coach on the wins and the titles, and not really on connecting and having meaningful relationships. So you guys made it all come full circle, that not only did I have meaningful relationships with you guys and built rapport, but we also won. So winning felt really, really good. So, Steven, we'll work our way down. Steven, you came out of nowhere, not necessarily out of nowhere. We won Division 1 mile, right? So let's walk us there. All week we were discussing, we had a strategy. You spoke to Coach Lankow, I'd give my advice. And we're in the Reggie Lewis. You are going into the Bell lap, 7 laps into the mile. We're in the Reggie Lewis. Then you hear ding, 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 ding. It's the last lap. Senior year indoor, Steven. Can you walk us through that last 200?
So a big goal of that race, or next week at All States, is to break 420. I really wanted to do that. So Bell lap, I just figured everything I have now. And like, he was right there. I kind of reeled him in through like the third quarter of the race. So he was right there. I figured like I can give it a chase down and give like sub 420 a try. So I just went everything I got and pulled it off.
Pulled it off. Connor. Now Connor, you have came, for me, I loved your versatility because first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, these 3 young men are so unselfish. It's ridiculous. So Connor, this last outdoor season, usually a kid who qualifies for the state, would want to push himself, push individual goals. And I remember talking to Coach Lankow, and I'm like, man, I need Connor in that 4x8. We need him. And I appreciate you for like putting down individual success and trying to capture team success. And you went out there, ran a filthy 800 leg for us. Talk to me about versatility and where the coaches put you and how that helped you with your career, because we put you everywhere we needed you, whether it was the mile, 2 mile, 1,000, 4x8. How did that help shape the cerebral aspect of the sport and you competing?
Yeah, Coach Lankow and Coach Boyle designed workouts for us to make sure that we have that range from the 400, the 4x4 to the 2 mile or the 5K. And I think it's really the workouts we do together, whether it's freezing out or just hot and sunny, they prepare us. I mean, Steven and I ran the 4x8 in the winter too. It's just no matter what the team needs, how many points we need, I think everyone puts that over themselves. I think the whole goal of the season is just to win as much as you can. And that might be individual too, but I think at the prep we have this really strong aspect of camaraderie and team, like just brotherhood. That's what I was looking for. And everything just means everything to win. So do whatever you can to score as many points. And the 4x8 was a man down, and coach asked me to step up, and I just felt like I had to.
Dak, you're graduating as a state champion cross country. We got a lot of my young guns coming up. Special shout out to my young guns who are coming, representing Roll Eagles. What can you say, Declan, to my young guns coming up? And you guys can chime in on this. You know, there's a lot of talent there. What could you share to the next generation of Eagles on what they should expect from Coach Lankow and Coach Boyle and our quest? Because we're returning Noah Mooney, Big George, you know, the freshman Nathan Lopez, but there's more. What do you say to those young men on our quest to repeat the state title in cross country?
I just say that you need to work hard through the 4 years if you want to be good. So you're gonna have to put in the time, you're gonna have to put in the effort. But like I'd say the first 3 years for me, like the first year I was pretty good at track, but as like sophomore, junior year, I kind of just like plateaued almost. So, but and then senior year, obviously I had like a pretty good cross country season. But that's from all just putting in the work, putting in the time, and I was waiting for that sort of like good race that I was going to have. So you just have to be patient as well. So yeah.
Fellas, Connor, Steven.
I think one of the biggest things we did was when we came onto campus in August, I think everyone bought into the culture. I mean, we're all best friends here, and everything that Coach Boyle and Coach Lankow did, we trusted in and trusted in our training. I mean, Mr. Boyle had shoulder surgery and came back to practice the next day to watch us do repeat 1Ks around the field at Riken. And I think that really set the tone for the rest of the season, because at the beginning we kind of had the injury bug with George, and then Nate wasn't running with us yet. He was on the freshman team. It was me, Steven, Deck, and Noah. And I think we were kind of struggling for a little bit, but we turned around when it mattered.
Steven.
Yeah, so just like trust the training. That's the thing I want to emphasize on. Like the coaches always tell us that, like in the race, like when you're hurting, you just got to trust the training. I mean, like this past like cross country indoors, I've just really taken that to heart when I'm hurting, like middle of the race to get me to the end. So like, yeah, really trust the training.
Gentlemen, you all guys brought up the training. So the training is designed by the coaches. Can we just talk about my favorite guys in the world right now? Big shout out to the new Hall of Fame sworn in Coach of the Year, my main man, Coach Boyle. Can we talk about, because a lot of people, you know, don't really know what happens behind the scenes. I guess they see it, especially when I got there. A lot of people, like, they're at all boys school. They didn't know like how much you guys really worked hard, how down to earth you guys are, how much you guys are scholars. Very proud that the cross country team in the track and field has the strongest GPA in the school. But let's talk about those coaches. How one, I got nothing but love for those guys because those guys saw something in me. They believed in me, like they believed in you. Let's give those guys a shout out. How instrumental is Coach Lankow and Coach Boyle?
Yeah, they really just have like passion for the sport. They just love the sport and love watching us race and just cheering us on and just motivating us to like race the best we can. It's just like you can see the true passion from them for the sport.
Fellas, Connor, Deck.
Yeah, so I mean, after every winter practice, we kind of just shoot the breeze with Coach Lankow, talk about track, race strategies, anything. I mean, we hang out, we have long bus rides together, we spend hours on end together. We're really close, and Coach Boyle he's something else. He is retiring after 51 years of teaching now, so I don't know what he's gonna do with himself, but he's different. You have to get used to him at first, but once you realize how good of a coach he is and how well he shapes kids into great athletes and scholars in the classroom, you can't take for granted what he has to offer.
Yeah, we all enjoyed being around them too. Like after practice, we would wait like an hour and a half just talking with them and stuff. So like we just love being around them and learning from them. So yeah, they're great role models.
Well, gentlemen, they say iron sharpens iron, and I totally believe that. I'm a better person, I'm a better coach because of my experiences at St. John's. I'm very grateful because I got to win. And you guys hit it on the nails. I miss those conversations. I miss us trying to like attack race strategies or just like, no, they don't realize how hard we work behind the scenes to really get to where we got. So all credit to you guys. Gentlemen, let's give a special shout out to the first coaches, the Sheehans and the Hughes and the Jackson family. You know, best special shout out to Steven's grandfather,
Yeah.
who was always there giving me props. That's my main man. He would always just come out of nowhere. Like he shocked me sometimes.
At every meeting.
He just comes out of nowhere. I don't see him coming. But yes, special salute to your parents. You guys, they did an amazing job. You guys are brilliant scholars, and I know you guys very well. And with conviction, I believe that you guys are going to go on to do great, great things. You know, Deck, Providence, here we come. I wanted to get the other boys, your other roommates on the chat, but they didn't get to sign up yet. But give special shout out to the rest of the senior class, my main man, Mike Fionda, Ryan Hart, Max Gaffney, Thomas Martino, Geddes Donlon, John Bartholomew. Who have I missed? Theo Hutt. You know, special shout out to all those guys who showed up every day with the right attitude. You know, Connor, you're going to Stonehill, and I believe that you've just started to scratch, you know, the surface of greatness, because we haven't really got to really get rolling. We didn't even know what we were going to do this outdoor season because we would have probably been at practice, and we don't know what we have done. And, you know, Steven, you know, you know, so close to breaking the school record in 1,000. Oh, my God, this close.
I know.
Right?
I remember that day.
Oh.
That was our last race.
That was our last high school race.
Oh, man. OMG. But, you know, you're taking your talents to BC, Steven, and hopefully over the last year, the thing that I think we stressed, and I think I'm proud to say that you got it. You believed in yourself. And the moment you started believing in yourself, that's when it was over. I want to share with you, Steven. I think for me, my breakout win for you was Catholic Conference Outdoors a year ago when we got Severian boy, which was
Mariano.
Mariano for the win.
Okay.
Right then and there, I was like, all right, Steven's ready. Steven is ready. And then from there on, it's just been a great journey, and I've been truly blessed to watch you guys develop into young men. Obviously, I miss it. You know, I'll be there right now. We've had practice several times. We probably have been competing and probably getting ready for a divisional state relay meet, right? Because entering May right now, we probably would have divisionals. But unfortunately, you know, but I'm happy to see that you guys are safe and sound. And I just wanted to share with, you know, the Bay State community, like as we go around and to interview the class of 2020, I always tell you guys are very special to me. I don't want to make it a personal thing, but you guys are very, very special. And I thank you guys for embracing me, you know, and believing in me. So I just want to give the same energy and the same love back. And I trust with conviction. I've been around you guys now for a year. And sometimes you just need to be around someone for 3 minutes to know what type of character they have and what type of integrity you have. And like Connor said, the brotherhood is strong. And without a doubt, I see nothing but success in the near future. Is a last minute shout outs before we sign off, guys?
Yeah, shout out to Mike Ryan and Luke Ryan.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you to my parents because, like, for the past 4 years, it's been constant track meets in the heat and freezing cold weather, and they've been there for each one, especially the bigger ones, cheering us on.
Steve?
Yeah, same. Shout out to my parents and grandparents. They get to every meet they can, and it's pretty much every meet. So just, like, I appreciate that. And just, like, also the coaches for, like, really teaching me, like, how to race and, like, the mindset when racing and just working with me every day. So thank you.
Well, fellas, no, thank you. You guys have been a true blessing, you know.
Oh, and you, Coach H.
And you, Coach H.
Yeah, every day or every day you can.
Bringing that energy.
It's all love, guys. It's all love. Guys, nothing has changed. Like Coach Lankow says, Eagle forever. Eagle forever. And please, as we get back to normalcy, make sure you guys communicate with the next wave of runners that we're seeking to repeat a state title. So while everyone else is playing Fortnite and video games, make sure our guys is crushing miles, okay? Other than that, fellas, roll Eagles. It's been a pleasure. You know, take care of yourself. Make sure you guys, keep in contact with us. I want to make sure that I follow you guys throughout college on the Bay State end. You know, I'm going to be reaching out to you as a coach, but on the Bay State end, as the media, you want to follow the class of 2020 because you guys are really, really special and you will be missed. All right, man?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
fellas.
Thanks, Coach.
Peace, guys.